Hey, how are ya? My name's Steve. This is work. I'll try that again. You can't do outtakes on live streams. G'day, I'm Steve. Hey, this is Woodworking Masterclass, and today I was shaping this pillar for a harp, and I thought, why don't I stream it, and then I can have a chat. And if you've got any questions, ask away. The majority of tools I'll be using today are HNT Gordon, which are Australian made hand tools, but beautiful timber ones. They're slightly different to, well, they're extremely different to mainstream planes and spoke shaves, but I like them, and Terry's a friend of mine, so it doesn't hurt to use his tools now and again. All right, where I'm up to, let's see if I can just get chat online here, because I should be going. Go away, I don't want to listen to you. Dear.
You're in HomeWise Online.
Say goodbye to old costly cable TV.
There we go. No, not interested. How do I go from here? Unfortunately, they don't allow you to test everything before you stream. So, let's get rid of that. That should be there. That one's there. And live chat's there. G'day, Chad! Yeah, it's been a while, mate. It's been a long while. I'm back in the groove. Yeah, I had a break there for about a couple of months. And it wasn't until Dave Stanton, there's an interview he did with me, down there in the description, came and did the interview, and then I started to get a lot of messages and emails from subscribers, and are you okay? And one message, bless his heart, said, are you still above the ground? Are you still alive? I think it said. So yes, I am very much alive, and I've been extremely busy doing other things in woodwork, but haven't had the inclination to stream. But now I'm sort of back into it. I thought, well, let's go. So here we go. What I'm doing here is, this is a new hybrid harp I'm working on, which I might have been working on before I finished streaming before, and it's a cross between a Paraguayan harp, and a Celtic harp. And the Paraguayan harps, if you look it up online, they have guitar tuners up here, which I don't like. The Celtic harps have tuners that go through this side and you tune the harp. So I have got a guitar tuner here, but not an easy reach. These are the normal harp tuners that go on regular harps. It's a bit dirty and manky, but you'll see where the hole is there, so I can't do that. But because I have, thanks to Heron Forbes, some lovely machinery, I can make my own harp pins and turning and milling. So what I've done is made, if I can find them. Oh, isn't it marvellous? You can find everything you want when you don't want it. There you go, sitting in front of me. So what I've done with this one is I've put the hole halfway up. So when I ream this out, they will sit quite nicely in there. There you go. And the hole, if you can see, will line up so the string is in the middle of this gap, which means, that didn't do it, did it? So if you look at that, the hole in the pin is in the middle of these two cheeks on the neck, which then lines it up with the center of the soundboard. So this is the soundboard for this one. So the strings will be perpendicular to to sound the string rail. A normal harp, with them coming out this way, the strings are out here, and that causes the necks to bend. So what I'm attempting to do, I call them this diffusion harp, is having the Paraguayan idea with the string straight up and down, but with the Celtic pins. So it'll look, well, in my opinion, look nicer. I've got to ream these out, which I might do today, or I might do it tomorrow. But what I had a thought with this neck was, g'day Vince! G'day Curtis! Shout out from West Texas. Hey, I wish I was in Texas at the moment, but Texas, Australia. Total population 635 people. And I had a chap from Dallas tell me he had more than that in his street. But there you go. So welcome Curtis, thanks for dropping in. So what I'm thinking of doing here, because these cheeks here, they're inserts. If I can find one, that's how they work. Originally I was doing them in the solid piece, but what I found, because this timber is so soft, if you actually have a look there, it's just manked it right out. So not much good, and it won't hold the pin. Whereas by putting inserts in, here we go. I don't know where an insert is, this one is, but what? So that's what I've got now. And a solid hardwood insert goes in there, and that'll give me more purchase for the taper of the pins to go in and hold. And originally this was going to be just cedar, because, excuse me, it doesn't really matter. It's got downward force on it, but there's no torsional twisting to it. And then yesterday I had this brilliant idea. Why don't I sandwich it between two bits of the same timber I've got here, which in this case is Queensland walnut. And then I thought I would do some carving on it and just do scallopy carving with an 810 carving chisel. But no, yesterday afternoon I thought, oh, it'd look really good with a houndstooth carving. And years ago I did a plate rack with houndstooth carving. And it'll be progressively getting smaller as it goes around the neck. So it's a challenge. It's something I haven't done before. So what I have done is got a thin piece of 15mm Japanese cedar, 2 pieces of Queensland walnut glued to the outside. The reason I have this middle insert is because I can get an absolute perfect, if I can get it out. Oh, perfect tenon to go in the mortise, because this middle piece here is the same thickness as the in piece in here. So that's a little trick. I saw, where did I see that? There you go, that's the template that I use. So that then fits in there like that. Okie dokie. What else? Yeah, and because it's hard to get the exact right angle, what I did was put the centerpiece in first, locked it in tight, and then glued these cheeks onto it afterwards. To stop the glue from gluing to the neck, which you don't want, I use some insulation tape. So there you go. Alrighty, we might as well get going. What I want to do here is get this curve and just take any machining marks off the timber. So as I said in the description, I'm using mainly Terry's tools, only because I want to. There's no other reason whatsoever. Any plain would do fine. When it comes to shaping it, I'm using majority of spoke shapes, but I might use a rasp as well. That's a rasp from Stumac, Luthier's rasp, and that's a generic straight woodworking hasp from, I don't know, hardware shop, I guess. Alright, let's see how we go here. Might do a bit of that, and can we do an insert? Would that be good? Let's see if we can do that. How's that looking? Oh, look at that. I'm starting to remember. Isn't it a great sound? The thing I love about HNT Gordon planes, I call them Terry's planes, but they're HNT Gordon, is this is really highly figured. You can see it coming up here. If I used a normal plane, a lot of times I would get a lot of tear out. But because of the angle that these blades are ground at, I don't get that tear out. And there is nothing nicer than a hand plate finish. And I should really stop blowing up the blade like that, because that's moisture. And if you do that too often, you can leave rust on there, which isn't good. Let's get a bit of air in here. If anyone's in or around Brisbane, I was talking to Terry the other day, I'm going to be demonstrating for him at Damien Fowles' open day in June, I think it is. We went last year and it was great fun. Poor. Stinks. Lovely timber, but stinks. Okay. You look at the sheen on that. It is absolutely gorgeous. So, do the other side. So which way the grain's going. Grain's going that way. So that's all good. Simple diligence. I'm going well, mate. Hey, thank you all the way from Canada. I have a granddaughter in Canada. Raven, if you're watching, love you, darling. I've said many times, don't waste your money on a gym membership. Get a hand plane. Works out your back muscles, your shoulder muscles, your glutes, your pecs, your tummy muscles, your leg muscles, and gives you a good cardio workout as well. And you can tell also I'm going both ways, against the grain and with the grain with this plane. I am getting a little bit of tear out against the grain, but not as much as if I was using a standard plane. Okay, that's not too bad. Isn't that lovely? Alrighty. And again, you can see the figure, and that's pretty amazing. And no tear out. Awesome! Okay. G'day, Quill Song! Thank you for joining us all the way from Missouri. Alright, now we'll start doing the one square bottle. Old trick, those that have been around me for a long time know if you're going to be doing anything in a vise, give it a squirt of water. I'll give you a demonstration. It's in the vise. Vice is about 9 o'clock, push down, bleh, nothing. Squirt of water. And when you remember, trees grow in water, so you don't have to worry about it. 9 o'clock. There you go. Just need a little bit there. It locks in nice and tight. And when you're spoke shaving, the last thing you want is your job moving on you. I've got a lot to take out here, so what I might do, might actually just rasp this for a bit. So standard rasp, nothing flash, nothing fancy. It's interesting, I know a lot of purists will say, that's a sneaky way of getting a break, isn't it? A lot of purists will say, oh, you can't use machines to take off waste, you've got to use hand tools. Guess what? It doesn't matter. If you enjoy using hand tools, yeah, be about it. But if you've got a bandsaw or a grinder or a jigsaw and you can get rid of the majority of waste, do that, and then there's small stuff, then you can use your hand tools on that. Much more rewarding. I was one, I used to build rocking horses at one stage. Oh no, it all had to be done by hand. Oh, crikey, the amount of draw knives. Actually, draw knife, yeah, that might work too. Let me try a draw knife. Draw knives that I've gone through shaping these horses, whereas in all honesty I could have used something better to get rid of a lot of the stuff. You just it's the trouble. I've got so many tools, I forget how many tools I've got, and you forget. This is still giving me good control. I don't really want to be touching this middle section, so I can take the majority off with this. Make sure, if you're using a draw knife, that you're going with the grain there. If you cut a curve like that, this part of the grain you can cut down that way, but you've got to change the job around the other way, or else you're going to be hitting short grain and making a hell of a mess. So when I come back this way, I'll just change up to this point. I can go this way. See, that's not splitting. Excuse me, let me see who's talking to me. Won't be a tick. G'day mate, how are you? Mate, I'm doing well, I'm doing well. Oh yes, yeah. Well, do you know what size it is?
6 or 7 inch.
Yeah, or Jason, I think it's Jansen or Jason, have good buffing wheels there up on the sidewall up from the drills with all the buffing compounds. Or the other one would be Trade Tools. No, it's a trade name. They do all the buffing gear. They're in Bunnings in the tool department. I think it's called Jason. I'm in the wrong shed, or else I've got all the... Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Or Jansen, something like that. But if you're just asking where all the polishing wheels are, in the tool shop, they'll point you up there.
Where did you say not here? What was the other place?
Trade Tools? Down near the roundabout. That will do. Hopefully I'll catch up, if not this week, next week. All right, you're buying some tape measures, are you? All right, mate. No worries. Catch up. Bye. They're a lovely fella. He's one of my timber suppliers. So there you go. So excuse that. It's one of those things. What have we got? Hermes Gabriel. Hello from Dominican Republic. Gee, we're going everywhere today, aren't we? Or should I do that later? Gee, we're going everywhere today. Well, welcome, Hermes. Yeah, as I just said, but I'll say it to your face. That was one of my timber suppliers, and he was wanting some information, and you don't sort of let those blokes wait. You just go, yep, righto, I'll help you out. So it's all good. We'll go and pick some timber up next week, I think. In any case, let's get back to this one. All right, so when I'm going down halfway, it doesn't matter if I go this way or this way. When I get to halfway, I've got to come back towards myself to the halfway point. That way I'm cutting supported grain the whole time. This way with the bevel down, you will take, see how that really pulled up that bit there? That was because this is short grain now and I'm going underneath it, which I don't really want to do. So we'll just take that out so I don't get a great big tear. Yeah, this way you've got more control over the depth of cut. This way, if you've got a heck of a lot of stock to remove, have the bevel up. Okay, now up to halfway, that's fine. I'm getting very close now to getting into spoke shave territory. Alright, down his step. That's the great thing about. Whoa! Didn't like that at all. Okay. Made a mess there. It's alright, we can work on that. Having everything in your shop sharp. I haven't used those spoke shaves for whatever you call these things, draw knives for ages. It's so nice to, oh, I've got that, and then you don't have to go and sharpen it. It's already sharp sort of thing. Let me just bring this back so you can see me from the start. There we go. Might just put a little bit of super glue in there. If I can find some. I had some yesterday. Here we go. Okay. Right. There's a lot. Let's not be shy about using it. Okay. The other way. There you go. I can still work around it. I'll try and stay away from the masking tape. But if it's not dry, what we can do is just turn it over and we can work on the other side. Pretty close. So I bought these stickers the other day. I thought they're pretty good. Skilled labour isn't cheap. Cheap labour isn't skilled. Now there's another one, I don't know where it is. It was good. I fix stuff and know things. That's what I do. I'm sure there's a few out there that can relate to that. God, very close. Very close. Now, that, I'm just going to use a common garden variety plane, knock that down. Again, trying not to hit that middle stringer, because really that is the template I want to follow. A little bit up. Might just give this a quick sharpen. Doesn't need much. Oh. Oh, that's handy. Do I have? I've got any kerosene? Well, let me just see what else I can use. Oh, I've got kerosene in there. This will do. Just get a little cup or something. I don't know if you saw that, it was a good save. I just knocked the drill down and caught it. Okie dokie. Going old school here. I've got two sawnecks there. I've got a diamond stone, ceramic stone, but I'll use the old basic. Stone. I think this is actually tool steel. Yeah, we'll do that. We've got a strop here. Oh, there's a strop. Whoops. What's going on there? There we go. G'day, John! Seeing I'm reading the thing. G'day, John! You make amazing things. I've seen some of your old camera plates. I've seen some old camera plates. One unboxed. Ah, easy enough. All you need is the size of that, John, and be easy to make. I'll tell you what, off subject, but on subject, I'm going to be playing around with music boxes. I sort of got a little bit fascinated with them the other day. And my wife, those of you who know Susie, she had one when we first got together and hadn't seen it for years. And I was looking on Facebook Marketplace. I don't know what I was even looking for. And it came up exactly the same jobby as she had back in the early 70s, and this lady said she bought hers in 1974. So I went around to get it and said, oh, my wife had one of those, you know, this beautiful music box. Oh no, the music box doesn't work. I said, well, that doesn't matter. So I bought it and pulled it to bits, and it was as simple as fix. I was actually going to film it, but I didn't. And what had happened, an earring, a very delicate little silver earring, had fallen through the slot in the music box and lodged into the governor that spins around of the music box. So I took it out and I played, and I rang this lady back. I saw I was working. She said, you know, I haven't heard that since the 1980s, so over 40 years. If she wanted it back, I would have given it back to her, but she said no. So we've now got that, and my granddaughter who lives nearby, she was fascinated by it. So what I thought was I will make her a music box. And then the other thing I thought of, which I'll tell you about later, is putting them elsewhere. Alright, that's not too bad. We haven't done the bit where the super glue is. But as you can tell, that's pretty closely following that shape. So now we'll do the outside shape. We'll do this one first. Okay, with that one that I just did, that was an internal curve. I used a round sole spoke shape. You'd most likely be more familiar with, no, I can't have them because they're up in the other shed. They're a much more pronounced radius, but these, I just love the HNT Gordon ones. So the outside radius, I'm using a flat one. So if you have a look at the two, this one's for internals, this is for externals. And let's see how we go here. That's a great sound for Monday morning, isn't it? Yeah, I must admit, John, I'm the same. I love intricate things, especially if I can pull them apart and get them working. Jared, hello! Not there the right thing. G'day, Jared, how are you? Close. I'm just wondering if it can be. Pretty good. I know there's this great big tussle. I've seen it on luthier sites, you know, people, well, what's wrong with CNC machines or laser engravers? Well, nothing, if that's what you want to be, but I have not found a machine yet that can choose the best orientation of timber when doing a job. Many, many years ago I ran a very large factory making furniture, and there's a job had to go out and the panels hadn't been fitted to the doors. And I said to one of the chaps, so mate, can you just put those panels in? Anyway, they were crown cut or cathedral cut. So they had beautiful patterns in the grain going like that. And he put them in so the grains went down. I took one look and I said, mate, you put them in the wrong way. What do you mean I put them in the wrong way? I put them in. What else do you want? That's the difference. An artist or a craftsman or a tradesman with pride in their work would look at it and go, no, that doesn't look right. I'll change that. A machine, as far as I'm aware, won't do it and can't do it because it lacks that human element. Can do all the technical stuff, but it can't do the aesthetics, if you like, or the pleasing stuff, or the stuff that makes a job stand out from another job. You know, I know some people that build furniture, technically absolutely beautiful furniture, could not fault it, but it's soulless. It's crisp 90 degrees and dead flat and square and everything like that, and it just doesn't have a soul. But that's the prattlings of an old man. So perhaps I'm out of touch. And if I am out of touch, well, I'm quite happy being out of touch because I'm happy with the way I feel. Curtis, Monday evening in Texas. Well, 8:06, it's 11 o'clock in the morning here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. That's right. Oh, no, it's not big enough. I was going to say if it was big enough, I would put a compass plane over it. That's not what I might do. Where's my blocking? There it is. I just... Oh, I could have used I should. Oh, I haven't. Well, there's a go. There's my HNT palm smoother, but the blade's behind the bench. Or else I use it, so I'm using a NX60 instead. Just to take the bulk of this down. Let's go. I might try the old smoother. There we go. La-da-dee. I got away from instruments for a while, I don't know, but I'm happy to say I'm really enjoying the work again. And sometimes you got to have a bit of a hiatus to understand what it is you really enjoy doing. I guess. I've got a couple of videos to do on some products people send me, which I shall get around to in the next week or so. One's a moisture meter by, I think it's Bessemer, or Bessel or something, but I'll do that shortly and I'll compare it to a needlepoint moisture meter, particularly with instruments. Moisture is a very intricate part, or integral part of the instrument. Harp particularly. Now, a lot of people, they buy a harp and first thing they do, they take it home and put it in an air-conditioned room and then complain that it's just cracked. Well, that's because air-conditioned room has virtually no moisture in it, so it's dried out. And building instruments flies in the face of everything I've learnt. So I even forgot to use the drawer before. Everything I learnt regarding building furniture with timber, it goes against every rule. You anchor cross grain, you glue stuff up, you don't allow for movement, all this stuff. So it's super, super critical. If that's what you're going to do, you've got to make sure the environment that it's going to be housed in is not that much different to the environment in which it was made. The big exception, of course, with furniture and movement is drawers and doors, particularly door panels. That's why if you're ever going to make a piece of furniture with doors in it and they're going to have floating panels, always finish the panel before you put it in the door. A lot of people I've seen it, and you'll see in their mass production jobs, they'll do the doors, put the panels in, put them all together, and then it'll go to the spray shop, and say for example it's raining outside, It's 22 degrees. The timber's full of moisture. It should be at 12%, but it could be at 14, 15%. And it's swollen. And then they spray it. And then particularly in Australia, and definitely in Queensland, in summer we hit 40, 45 degrees. Very low humidity. The timber shrinks, and then behind the quads, or the rails that have been put sticking around the timber, whether it's an intricate part of the stile and the rail, or whether it's a bit of quad you've actually put on later on, you'll see there's timber showing and it's got no lacquer on it. That's because it's shrunk. So bear that in mind. If you're going to make doors or doors, spray it all, then assemble it, and then if it shrinks, it doesn't matter. It'll still have lacquer on it, and it won't look so out of place. I think I'm doing all right on this one. Great sound. If I was doing a longer bit, I wear this called a chest plate, and how that works is I can then lean into my job, holds it securely in the vise, and I can go all the way up without it tilting or anything like that. In this one it's not quite as important because it's only a short piece. Nothing special about that, just a shield shaped bit of plywood, a bit of string around it. Very simple tool, but after a day of doing that with a drawer knife, I tell you, the old solar plexus and rib cage, they start to get a little bit tender. Alright, let's go back this way. What have we got? Oh, we're back here. Okay, let me. It's 10 a.m. It's 10 p.m. here. Make a wooden or Titan. I would love to, but no, I haven't got the brains for that. Vince, how's your marks? Well, mate, as soon as I finish here, which will be pretty shortly, I'm going to go out and fling a few down the. I'll tell you what I've done. Wait a minute. I'll be back. I've changed. Here we go. For those who don't know what Vince is referring to, I've taken up archery, and we've got archery tonight, and I like flinging a few arrows every day. We use Asiatic bows. It's a martial arts form of archery. We use Asiatic bows, which don't have a shelf and don't have sights and don't have balances and don't have anything clever like that. What's going on here? I don't know. There we go. It's just a straight, simple bow. A bear bow. It's even bearer than a bear bow, I think. So if you hit the target, if you hit the bullseye once, that could have been luck. You hit it 4 or 5 times, no, that's skill. And we use thumb release, so it's not European fingers. It's not, what's the other one? Slavic fingers. It's not the right hand side of the bow. No, sorry, the left hand side of the bow. We shoot on the right hand side of the bow. And we use thumb release. So the bow, your thumb goes like that. That goes over there, and the string is held in here. And I haven't got one here. They're up in the house. They use thumb rings, which is a ring that slips over your thumb and has a pad or a hard bit of metal or plastic there. And then the string fits in there, and when you release, the string releases. I found, because I can't bend my thumb that much, I got onto Mongolian rings, which is basically that. So what I've been doing, I went through a stage of making resin stuff. That's one made out of a pine cone with resin. That was an old egg that I made that I just turned into one of those. And that was a combination of ebony sawdust and brass sawdust off my lathes. And the way they work is they fit directly over your thumb and you hold like that so the string sits there. For me, it's a much nicer release and quicker release. But yes, Vince, I'm going to throw some arrows, and I'm loving it. Really am. I'm going to make a few more of these. The downside of these is when you start, your thumb's its normal size, so I have to actually weasel that in. There you go. That's tight. In fact, it's just a little bit uncomfortable. But by the time I've shot about 30, 40 arrows, my thumb would have shrunk. And then what happens, this is loose, and if you're not careful when you shoot your arrow, it flies off too. So then I go to that size, which is 0.5 millimetre smaller diameter, and it fits on. Generally I can get a knife out of that, and if that's too loose, I'll go to that one, which is tighter still. So there you go, a little bit of a sojourn. John, I'm still dying to see you get an old style upright piano and gut some of it and turn it into a piano. Look, I tell you what, you go on YouTube, not YouTube, Facebook, everyone's giving them away. Thing is, for me, I've got limited space and they're heavy and mostly they're veneer, walnut veneer, maple veneer. So I don't think that will be happening anytime soon, John. I get confused because most of the meters we get have presets for American timbers. I'd like to find. Oh, well, you'll love this one. You'll love this one. That I'll show you, and you actually set it to the timber that you're working with. And yeah, I agree, Vince. The literature they sent me has got the specific gravity of the timbers in America. But there's a book, I don't know if I've got it here, it's most likely up in the house, but it was down here. And look, if not, you can find out online what the specific gravity of timber is. And for me, it confused the heck out of me. I'll go over this when I'm doing the moisture meter. It confused the heck out of me. What is specific gravity? Well, what it is actually, I forget, a thousandth. A thousandth. Now, that's hard to say. A thousandth of the weight at ADD. There you go. I will explain. If you get a timber book and you have a look, it'll have two things in the specification somewhere. It'll have GD and ADD. ADD is the one you want. GD is green density. In other words, as soon as that tree has been chopped down, the density of that timber is GD, so it's green density. ADD is air dried density. In other words, it's brought down to 12% and air dried, and I noticed a comment there, someone's talking about kiln dried, I'll talk about that in a tick. Air dried density, and then they weigh it, and the margin they use for air dried density is 12%. So it does vary. The one on the top of my mind, because I looked it up yesterday, was this stuff I'm working with here, which is Queensland walnut. It is the weight of 1 cubic metre at 12% is 690 kilos. So the specific gravity of Queensland walnut is 0.69. And these meters that I've got, you can adjust the setting to the timber you're using. And it's very confusing. When I first started using one, I didn't understand about the specific gravities, and I was getting readings of 18 and 20%, which was ridiculous. So now I understand that, and I'll be doing that. If not on Friday, it'll be next week. I'll do that. The people that sent it to me, they've been most patient. I've had problems with my laptop crashed, lost everything, and along with that my email program went down, so I haven't been able to, I can receive emails, but I haven't been able to answer them for about a month. But I got that up and running this morning, so I'm happy with that, and got another computer. And yeah, so what I'll do in the demonstration is we'll try different timbers, and I've got some out the yard that have been lying on the ground, and we've had a lot of water here. I was testing them yesterday, and it's really interesting. On the end where your free water runs out, bear in mind they're wet, they're about 16.9%, but in the middle where the free water still is, it's coming up at about 26%. But this lyre I'm making, which is floating around here somewhere, I took some oak off of this bit that was at 26%. I've brought it in here, I skimmed it, re-sawed it, which, re-sawed, that doesn't sound right, does it? It's been re-sawn, and I machined it down to 10% and let it sit for a week. And now it's coming in at about 12%, which is what I want. And all the curling and everything's gone out of it. So that's it. You've got to look for the ADD, air dry density, and what do? You times that, you move the decimal point 1, 2, 3 to the left, and that'll give you a specific gravity of your timber. Okay. Most people buy kiln dried timber. Yeah, I personally don't like kiln dried timber. If you've ever read Jim Crenoff's book, A Cabinet Maker's Notebook, which I think he wrote in the 70s or something or other, he talks about the difference between kiln dried and air dried, and I 100% agree with it. Kiln dried timber to me is dead. It doesn't have any personality. It's just, it doesn't have any life. I can get all esoteric on you, but I won't. But, well, basically the kiln dry principle, as far as I understand, and they've changed it, they'd put it in there, they'd suck all of the moisture out of it, so it's almost a cracking point, and then they inject steam in there up to the moisture they want. Now that's all very good, but you've just killed the timber. And the other thing that people don't consider with kiln dried timber, it hasn't been able to release its natural tensions. It's got to be out in the weather. The rule of thumb, I don't know if it still holds, but the rule of thumb used to be 1 inch a year and 1 inch for luck. So if you've got a 2-inch board, it has to be stripped out in the outside atmosphere for 3 years. So it's 1 inch a year and 1 inch for luck. And so it's got the rain, it's got the scorching sun, it's got the winds, it's got the cold, and it goes through this entire process, and then you pull the board out and it's all crippled and twisted and bowed and bent, and you think, oh, that was a waste of time. But it's not, because once you've machined that, whatever you recover out of it is going to be stable as a slab of marble. And that's the other thing. I like buying wider boards. I really don't like anything over 2 inch. And even 2 inch, sometimes I'll only get 1 inch board out of it. I've got a lot of 3 inch and 4 inch stock there, but unless I'm using it for turning, I've got to resaw it, because I've got stuff that's been sitting out in my yard for 10 years, and it's got to be dry. It's been outside in the weather for 10 years. I can guarantee I'll bring a bit in, put the bandsaw on, run it through the bandsaw, and you will literally see water, not traces of moisture. I'm talking about water coming out of the cut when the bandsaw exits. So there you go, something to think about. I don't know how I got onto that. I'm very kicked back and relaxed. I've got to make some new aprons too. Where do we go? I cut mine down and air dried the mesquite I have on my land, same as... Oh, lovely. I love pecan. Curtis, I'm coming over with a trailer. Oh, dear. Anyway, let me finish this bit off. Then, I was going to set it out, but I don't think I'll have time because I've been dreaming or streaming. Oh, where it used to show me the time up there. Yeah, okay, just over an hour, so that might do me. Let me just get this. Where's this? Here we go. Now I've just got this glue stuff here I want to get off. See how that moved? Because I didn't put any water in it. See that? Most disconcerting. And water costs nothing. It's good stuff. There we go. There we go. What I should have done, which I will do in future, is I'll wipe all this excess glue off before it's dry. There you go. It's beautiful. Okay. Now, I don't know. This is going to be that dry. I'll give it a try. Okay. Now I'll go back to the round spoke shave, round base. Get all that glue off. I think we dodged a bullet there. That's not looking too bad. Okay. Now I must consider my next step. Yeah, I said that, John. I would love to make one, but I'm not that clever. Well, that's it. I think I've been on the go for about an hour, which is going to be long enough for me, but we'll just put this in and we'll see how it's looking. Oh dear. Let me just put all this stuff up. Boom, 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 boom. Keep that one out because I might use it again. Put these up. Okay. Well, I'm thinking I might pick those up later on. I'll tell you, I've also got them here. These are extraordinary too. I must free plug for George. These are Bluetooth ones. When I'm mowing or when I'm on a bandsaw or whatever, I've got music going through there. Absolutely awesome. I must G6. George is another friend of mine, so I like to help out whenever I can. Okay. What are we going to do? I just want to see how this looks. I don't know how much. Oh no, it won't. Because I've got to shape the bottom of it still. Okay, that goes there. That goes there. That cuts out and goes in there. What I want to do is, I'm thinking at the moment, houndstooth carving down both sides. So I will go and have a coffee and ruminate over that, and I will keep you in the loop how that goes. But as Vince pointed out, I think I should go and shoot some arrows. So I think I'll do that. Thanks for the company. It's great to be back on the stream. It's wonderful to know there's people still interested in woodwork and knowing what I'm doing and whatever else. If there's any questions, by all means ask me in the comments or send me an email. woodworkingmasterclass@gmail.com will get me. I've pulled the Woodworking Masterclass website down because I just wasn't utilising what it was doing, and it was costing me a fortune to have it up there. But I might get another one up soon with for my harps, so we'll see how we go with that. But in the meantime, this is Steve pulling the shed door down and saying, remember to keep it sharp, but more importantly, keep it safe. Look after yourselves, be kind to each other, and I look forward to having your company in the workshop, at the bench again very, very soon. Till then, take care. God bless. Bye for now.